Hello, I'm Michael Chaskelson and welcome to this series of recordings about the journey to awakening. So what is awakening? Well, it's a mode of mind, a way of being in the world that's been spoken about in religious circles for thousands of years. Buddhists have spoken about it as enlightenment. Christians maybe talk about it as the kingdom of heaven. There are various religious takes all around the world. We're taking a different angle here. So far as we're concerned, awakening is a natural and not a supernatural state. As a natural state, the natural sciences might have something to say about it. So we'll be speaking about awakening as in terms of the series of conditions, the set of conditions under which this mode of mind emerges. And we'll be exploring it in terms of cognitive science, neuroscience, evolutionary psychology, and from other perspectives as well. I come at this work myself from a Buddhist background. I started to practice Buddhism way back in the mid-1970s, and much of that very much full-time. I had a small foray into entrepreneurship. I set up a social enterprise company with some colleagues that came to be quite successful. That gave me the experience of working in an intense startup for a while. But after a bit, I went back to doing full-time Buddhist practice. In time, I came to study it at a master's level, study mindfulness at a master's level, learning the clinical applications of mindfulness. And then for several years, I was teaching clinicians in the UK's National Health Service how to deliver mindfulness interventions for people with different mental health conditions. So this introduced me to the science and psychology of mindfulness, which has been hugely, hugely helpful. It introduced me to a new language, a new way of talking about mindfulness and about meditation and other disciplines that has again enabled me to some extent to frame the journey to awakening in terms that are not embedded in religious contexts. So I'll be speaking somewhat from that frame, but more than that, I'll be basing this to some extent on my own awakening experiences. What does one need? How does one bring about the conditions that support awakening? What's the journey to awakening look like if one speaks about it in non-religious terms? I hope that this series of conversations will enable us to take the mindfulness discussion another few stages further. In the culture so far, mindfulness has been framed around helping people to deal with stress, pain, other conditions, help people to chill and to relax. But that was never the original intention of the teachings. They were always intended as a kind of liberative technique, a way of enabling people to free themselves from the constraints of selfing, from the constraints of self-regard. Awakening is about coming to a mode of experience where you have an experience without an experiencer at its heart. Just a seamless flow of experience. And that's the sort of thing we'll be talking about. But more than that, it's not just about that particular mode of mind. It's about the journey. It's about ideas and practices that we can all engage with that help us to deepen, help us to enrich our lives from moment to moment as we go forward. That's what this conversation is, I hope, going to be all about. And I hope the conversation will begin to include other people in it. It'd be wonderful if we could talk to artists, to scientists, environmentalists and psychologists about their own interests and about how that might inform our own individual journey to awakening. I hope you'll find the conversation really interesting, informative, practical and useful. If you like what we're doing, do please like it. Share it, let other people know about it. And do get in touch. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to hear from you in particular about people that you think we might speak to as we begin to explore many different aspects of the journey to awakening.